The U.S. Customs and Border Protection has found that certain products by Top Glove Corp have been manufactured with the use of convict, forced or indentured labour. In a notice published today, the CBP cited Section 307 of the Tariff Act 1930, which states that products produced using these kinds of labour shall be barred from U.S. ports. Previously, on July 15, 2020, the CBP had issued a withhold release order on disposable gloves indicated to be manufactured by forced labour in Malaysia by Top Glove. The US regulator said that through its investigation, the CBP has determined that there is sufficient information to support finding that Top Glove is manufacturing disposable gloves with forced labour. Based on this, the CBP says the port director may seize the covered merchandise for violation of the Act and commence forfeiture proceedings. However, to avoid this, the importer needs to establish by satisfactory evidence that the merchandise was not produced in any part with the use of prohibited labour. Earlier this month, Top Glove said an independent consultant found no systemic forced labour within the group as of January. AirAsia Group posted a bigger than expected net loss of 2.4 billion for the fourth quarter due to impairments booked during the quarter. The impairments include right of use, receivables, as well as fuel swap losses. However, there was also a gain on disposal from its stake sale in AirAsia India of 229.4 million ringgit. Excluding the unusual items, AirAsia still booked a loss of 1.02 billion for the quarter as revenue fell 40% to 267 million due to movement restrictions. This brought AirAsia's full year FY20 net loss to 5.1 billion, wider than consensus estimates. Revenue was down 74% to 3.14 billion from the 11.86 billion posted previously. The airline is still in the midst of reviewing every aspect of its operations and is well prepared to rely solely on domestic operations this year in the event that the borders remain closed. It notes that in areas where travel restrictions are lifted, there is a solid domestic rebound for air travel demand. It has also set a timeline for its non-airline and digital business to contribute to 50% of the group's top line in 5 years' time. Chong Motor Holdings says it will be settling its 180 million ringgit Royal Malaysian Customs Department bill out of court. It will be resolved by way of reduced bills of demand and compound amounting to 109 million ringgit. In a boss filing, Chong says the settlement is subject to the finalization of the terms of the consent order. Chong says that now that the matter has been resolved amicably and expeditiously, this will enable it to focus on its core business instead of being entangled in protracted litigation. To recap, RMCD in May last year slapped Chong Motor Assemblies with the tax bill for excise duties from November 1st, 2016 to October 31st, 2019. Touch 'n Go Group has no plans to pursue a public listing for now, according to Group CEO Effendi Shahul Hamid. He says this is because TNG and TNG Digital are both self-sufficient and well-funded. Effendi said this at the virtual launch of TNG eWallet Go Plus, a money market investment product. TNG is also evaluating a potential digital joint bank venture, with Effendi explaining that there is a huge synergy between digital banks and digital payment companies. However, he was quick to add that TNG has yet to fully decide on the matter. Meanwhile, Effendi says the group has removed the parking surcharge from 94% of its sites nationwide. According to him, 620 sites have removed the 10% surcharge out of the 662 parking sites that accept TNG cards for payment. The proposed takeover of Eastern and Oriental by Kerjaya Prospect Group's T Brothers is unattractive but fair, according to analysts. Hence, shareholders should accept the offer. Afin Huang Capital's Lung Chi Wai says he believes the takeover price of 60 sen is reasonable given the high implied FY22 PER of 28 times and challenging prospects for E&O as border closures remain. This, he says, impacts the sales of its high-end residential projects. RHB researchers Loong Kok Wen also advises to accept the takeover offer. Loong says that although the offer price is not very attractive, this would prove an opportunity to exit, as the monetization of the Seri Tanjung Pinang Phase 2A land will take many more years. Meanwhile, CGS-CIMB analyst Ngo Siu Ting viewed the deal to be neutral for ENO shareholders, keeping her whole call but with a higher 60-cent target price. ENO ended the day 3.42% up at 61 cents.